All right, guys, got a little rapid fire for you. In terms of who got next, we know the Falcons got next with the Jacksonville Jaguars across the pond. The Lions got to put a blueprint together on how you can stop the run. Do the Jaguars, however, have the guns to do it?
Maybe. I did not believe in the Lions' run defense based off of the first two games.
Yeah.
And Jacksonville's run defense has been similar to that.
Middling.
Yeah. So it's like maybe, and the Lions proved it. So I think they do. But again, we haven't really seen anybody other than the Lions really stop this run attack. So I still have confidence that the Falcons will get back to reestablishing the run. But maybe Jacksonville does have what it takes because we know they're going to be focused on it.
My thing is it's going to be more about the Falcons than it's going to be about Jacksonville. If the Falcons come out and say that we're running the dang ball, they're going to run the dang ball. They have shown time and time again that they can. I think that Jacksonville has some good key pieces on defense, but I think if the Falcons take ownership of that, then it's on their shoulders to do it.
And I just think about like who's lining up on the other side of the football for the Falcons, right? Like I think about a guy like Trayvon Walker, not necessarily a sack guy, but he's disruptive. So guys like that who are normally disruptive, and up and down the defensive line like that, those are guys that you need to be concerned about in the run game. So is Caleb McGarry going to be able to get from an outside zone standpoint, be able to cut him off like that when Bijan Robinson is trying to get outside, or is Jake Matthews going to be able to cut him off if they're trying to run that outside zone, or if Desmond Ridder going to be able to see, okay, they got numbers on this side, so I might need to do a check and flip the play to the other side. It's just those little different things that I feel like this is going to be the answer to this question, because are they going to be able to fine tune some of those things? Like we talked about the corrections, not necessarily talking about that. I'm talking about fine tuning things. There's some. How can we get ourselves to put ourselves in an advantage? And I think that starts with identifying the guys who can erupt that running game specifically, and making sure you're getting those guys blocked. And I think that they can. I think they can do it because I trust Arthur Smith. Like I really like what he does on Sundays at 1:00, and I think that he's going to be able to do this. Not this Sunday. It's going to be a little early. It's going to be a little early. We're about to get up a little early to get this thing figured out, but we're going to be checking it out. And I definitely think that Arthur Smith is going to try to get this thing figured out for sure.
Yeah, and I think the Jacksonville Jaguars have the guns to do it. We, of course, know one of the guns in Foye Oluokun as well as Trayvon Walker, and they can get it done. But I think you guys are on to something. There's a level of pride that I feel like the Falcons have that's going to put them back, going to reset and say, not again. We're not letting this happen 2 weeks in a row. Now, if it happens 6-7 weeks down the road, hey, fine. It happens to all the teams in the NFL. They have off weeks, right? But I don't think this Falcons squad, and it's something, Tori, that you mentioned, how we talked about last year, the year before, and for Jarvis, probably a lifetime since he's seen a real pass rush. But the one you saw yesterday makes you confident that it's here to stay, right? And so you just want to make sure that this doesn't become, that the Falcons we saw on all sides of the ball, first and second game, but particularly the offensive side of the ball, they show up. And even in special teams, that Younghoe Koo shows up like the Koo that we know he can be, then yeah, it doesn't matter if the Jaguars have the guns or not. I don't think the Falcons allow them to use those guns. Now, I think we're all committed to, it sounds like we're in agreement when we're talking about resetting or regressing. It sounds like to me, we all believe that the Falcons are really going to reset. So let me ask you this question. If indeed they're not going to regress and lose to the Jaguars, but we think they're going to reset and win and beat the Jaguars, who's that next guy for you who needs to step up and make it happen?
For me, it's Jeff Okudah, right? I was happy to see him out there for the first time last week. We know Calvin Ridley can do Calvin Ridley things. We know Trevor Lawrence likes to throw him the football. It's not to say that he's the only receiver that Jacksonville has, but, on the outside, it's going to be A.J. Terrell. We know A.J. Terrell's good, right? We've seen that for 3 years now. We don't know if Jeff Okudah is good. We think he can be good. And what we saw on Sunday, I thought was very promising, but we're going to definitely need him to step up. And if he does, and I think this defense can take even a bigger step forward and become legitimately one of the better ones in the league.
I'm going with Desmond Ridder because, like you said, I know you were under siege, sir, but you had opportunities. You had some opportunities. There were a couple of them that you could have set the tone in the beginning of the game, Like you could, if you would have connected on that pass to Kyle Pitts, or if you would have connected on that pass to Drake London after the interception by Jesse Bates, that could have been game-changing type of stuff, and we would have been talking about you in the same light like we were talking about you against the Packers. Like, yeah, because at the end of the day, if you are able to make those throws like you did in the fourth quarter against the Packers, like you did in the second half against the Carolina Panthers, like we're gonna believe that, like because at some point you're gonna have to say, hey, this is a trend. It's not a trend. This is who you are, and I think that people will be able to put up with you if they say, you know what, he might not be pretty to start the game, but we know what we're gonna get in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely just not a person. It's the offensive line. We've talked this entire show about the offensive line and what we need to see from them moving forward. Chris Lindstrom, after the game, said, look, I haven't watched the film, but I know that we as a group need to be better. And I know there needs to be more from us. And so moving forward into Jacksonville, we talk about this Falcons team igniting themselves in order to be better offensively. That starts up front. It starts on the line of scrimmage. Arthur Smith has said that time and time again. We want to dictate the line of scrimmage. The people who do that are the five guys up front. So let's see how they can take kind of, we talk about punch in the face against Detroit. How did they change it going to Jacksonville or playing Jacksonville in London?
Yeah, and we've talked about the front seven, but I want to break them up just a little bit more. And what I want to see, or who I want to see step up, I'm just going to give it to a group, the linebackers, because Grady Jarrett did what he was supposed to do. David Onyemata did what he was supposed to do. Up front, we're fine, right? But that edge, where are those linebackers? I want to hear more of those names. I want to hear some AK. I want to hear more Low Carter. I want to see them
on the team?
step up. Exactly. Because we talk about
change, and I think everybody's like, "Where the heck is 47? He's 17 now."
Yeah,
I think he needs to go back to 47 because
maybe go back. Right.
I don't even know who that is. Who that?
Yeah,
who Craig? Craig who?
And especially to you guys' earlier point, if unfortunately Troy Anderson does go down, then you definitely need everybody around him to step up. So yeah, we will see. We will be right there watching the Falcons football party. Will check out the game just like you guys are going to be. We're going to be up early, 9:30 a.m. for that kickoff.
I'll be in London.
Then, of course,
yes.
Right. Oh my God.
Yes.
Tori's going across the pond. Love it. So she'll be able to give us some really cool facts and some fascinating things from when she's coming back on this other side of the pond. And of course, you guys know we appreciate you stopping by the Falcons football party because, hey, this is the best football talk for the Falcons, but don't forget, we're also the home for the dog party too. So stop by on Tuesday and we'll see you guys tomorrow.